Hey guys, welcome back. Beautiful day today in North Carolina. I hope it's nice where you are. This weather's been pretty crazy. But today's video, I get a lot of emails asking for, they're on, ABC prescription medicine and they're wanting to know what, an alternative natural medicine they can use for that. Lots of different reasons. Some people just want to get off of them. Some people don't like the side effects. I'm always, knowledge is power. If there ever comes a day you cannot get certain prescriptions, you better have a backup plan and knowledge and how to use it and see how you tolerate it. Now, I am not a doctor. Speak with your doctor. I am not telling anyone to stop taking their prescription medicines. You speak with your doctor. You do what's best for you and your health. I'm giving information on these things, and some people, if you've been emailing back and forth to me on some of these exact ones, this may be a repeat for you, but I'm going to take 4 that I get asked about pretty often, and I may do chunks of videos like this because I do get, it seems like I'll just get sections where I start getting asked about certain prescriptions and, hey, is there anything I can do to kind of help me wean off of this, or something to switch or go along with it. And so I'm just going to cover some of those because my opinion, just me, and because I'm seeing it and I'm hearing it, I'm hearing there are doctors locally, and I'm hearing emails from people all over that if they don't have, they're not seeing them anymore. People are getting fired as patients, just different things. And so I like people to have, information on how to do this, because a lot of medicines you cannot just stop. You cannot just stop cold turkey. That can cause a lot of issues. So let's go over some of them. Now, a big one is prednisone. Prednisone is used for people who have severe arthritis, asthma, allergies, autoimmune disorders. Some people have to take it all the time and can't seem to get off of it. Some take it in sections. If they have like a flare up, they have to be on that. And prednisone is one of those things that it can be, life needed in certain emergency situations. But it does have a very long list of long-term side effects. I'll say that. So I'm not saying stop it. If you're on any of these things, I'm not telling you to stop it. I'm just giving you information for natural alternatives. You speak with your doctor and do what's best for you. But for the prednisone, for these type of things like I had mentioned, the autoimmune, asthma, arthritis, allergies type thing, is vitamin D3 in large doses, like 20,000 to 30,000 IUDs a day. And because that is a natural hormone that our bodies need, that has the same effect that in large doses like that prednisone does. Now, my vitamin D drops I take, they're drops. I recommend the drops instead of, in pill form. I just think that you have better results that way. Now, with the vitamin D3, when you're taking that much, when our bodies get vitamin D, it doesn't really tell where calcium to go. So a lot of people who take large doses of vitamin D3 who have these conditions and hey, they're taking it for their alternate of like a prednisone or something. They'll take K2, the vitamin K2 with it, because K2 kind of tells it where to go. Like, hey, it needs to take that calcium that's getting, it needs to drive it into your bones. That's up to you. Some do, some don't. But I want to throw that in there. I will list these things in the description that I go over today. But for the prednisone, vitamin D3 in the amounts I gave is going to help with all the things I had mentioned earlier. The uses for it. Another one I get asked, almost every day, is people who are on metformin. Metformin is like type 2 diabetes, or people who have like insulin resistance, things like that. Now, metformin it can have some nasty side effects. I don't care for the medicine, but, some people are on it. Some people feel awful. Some people want to get off of it. Of course, when there's type 2 diabetes, there's other things that go into that. If, you got to check your diet and your exercise. That's just, everyone has a different thing that goes on and why they end up having to get on it, but check those things. But here are some things that are alternative for metformin. And berberine is fantastic for type 2 diabetes. Berberine. Cinnamon, green tea, and bitter melon. All of those help with insulin resistance, which is what happens when people get type 2 diabetes. And this is not for type 1. If you were born with type 1 diabetes, I'm not talking to you with this, sorry. But that's a whole different ballgame with that. But those help with the metformin, and most people with the berberine have a lot of success, switching that from the metformin. That's one I get asked about a lot. Another one I get asked about is Adderall. I've had several people say, my grandson, my kiddo, my whatever. Some of them are adults, some are kids, are on Adderall for ADHD, and they're like, if I try to get them off of it, it's chaos. It's it's just a lot of issues, and Adderall can have. They can just have bad side effects. I don't know if you've ever known anyone on it or you've been on it yourself, but they can have some pretty bad side effects. And then you're fighting the side effects with what you're using it to treat. And it's just, but for Adderall is your vitamin B1. That is a brain vitamin. And that's where there's this imbalance and things that go on with, things like ADHD. Your DHA, which is your fish oils, and zinc. You can take all this stuff together. MCT, which is the coconut oil. That's a good one to include in your diet. All these are brain things. It nourishes the brain. It helps the brain. It balances out the brain. D3 again, vitamin D3, about 20,000 IUDs a day as well for this one. These are just a good alternative. And I have known people who have great success and been able to come off. Some people you need to come off any things I mentioned. If you choose to come off, you need to come off of prescription medications safely. Each one is different. Some you have to wean off, some you don't. You need to talk to your doctor and research that yourself if you're wanting to change anything or stop any of them. Some of them you start lowering the prescription and come bringing in the natural alternative, and you just keep lessening the prescription and doing that. Do it safely. Talk to your doctor, talk to a pharmacist, research it yourself on how to do that. And then the last one that I hear a lot, and this day and age I can understand a lot of people are having this, is anxiety medicines. Whether it's Xanax, lots of different anxiety medicines. And the thing with anxiety medicines is they are very addictive. Not how you hear people addictive to like painkillers. They're addictive because people will try to come off of them. They want to come off and they get what we call a rebound effect. It gets worse. And so that's why a lot of times with anxiety, depression, panic attack type prescription medicines, they constantly have to be adjusted. Because you build up tolerances, and then sometimes when you take it and you start coming off, you get a rebound of, you get this rebound effect, and it's hard. It is hard, but it's just trying to get it out of your system. And those chemicals that have altered or numbed different parts of your brains are causing that. It's waking back up. And we want it to, and we replace it with other things. Again, do what's best for you. But I would say for that is ashwagandha. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful for your brain. It also is anti-inflammatory, anti-anxiety. It helps with pain and stuff like that. Because a lot of people who have anxiety, they have high cortisol levels. The cortisol levels high or off balance, and that surge that you get, and their adrenals are just taxed. It throws this imbalance off, and it just becomes this snowball effect. It's just one thing feeding off of another. Omega-3s, again, your omega-3s, your fish oils, are brain health. Brain health, which is not just, people who are brain health, it balances things. And that is what, a lot of these, this imbalance for different things. B1, again, vitamin B1 helps. It's your brain vitamin. It helps, and also, that helps improve sleep and stuff, which a lot of people with anxiety, depression, panic disorders and stuff like that, they they have problems with sleep. They have, they can get insomnia or they sleep too much. Again, it's all about balancing our bodies and our system. Another thing with people I do want to mention who have problems with anxiety and stuff like that is sometimes their progesterone levels are off. Sometimes they have to have their progesterone level checked. You don't want too high or too low. You want it more on the high side than too low, but that's something you may have to, if you need that lab to have that checked. And probiotics. I've talked before about the gut-brain connection. If you ever research it, the gut-brain connection, our gut is our second brain. And so if we have, microbials, there's an imbalance, if there's, candida, any type of, issues, it sends these signals to our brain to, panic, something's wrong, or it's like misfires, I guess I should say. So the probiotics are kind of neurotransmitters for that. Get your gut healed. And see, the thing is a lot of prescription medicine, they throw off our gut. They throw off the balance of how it's supposed to be. They don't, because like a lot of things, they block, like B12, folic acid, they block the absorption of things. So then what happens is we're making the situation worse, and then, they up your medicine because, I'm getting worse, or it's not working as well. Well, it's because the balance is off and it's messing up our absorption, and it just becomes a snowball effect. It really does. And then the other thing for the anxiety is magnesium. I do magnesium citrate. Anyways, that's a good one to have, and that is it kind of relaxes you, but it doesn't have that sedative type relaxing. That's not what I'm talking about. But it does. It's all balancing. It's giving our body the balance and nutrients it needs to function properly. Because a lot of prescription medicines are for symptoms. Symptoms are not the root cause of why people will need a medication, no matter what it is. You have to fix the root cause. The symptoms make us feel awful, so they take medications to suppress the symptoms. If you fix the root cause, you won't have symptoms. Our symptoms is our body screaming something at us. They're telling us something's wrong, you need to look into this. And, everything's connected. That's why a lot of specialists, they focus on one area, and the body has to be looked at as a whole. It all functions. It all affects each other. You may have a symptom in one area. Some people have high blood pressure and they have a perfect heart, but it's because of their kidneys. See what I'm saying? So everything is like that in our body. These are some I get asked about pretty regular. I will put these in the description. Again, please email me. I will help how I can. And I am not a doctor. I am just passing on knowledge and information. And I do recommend, if you're on prescription medicines, learn alternatives. Because if something ever happens and you cannot get prescriptions, or we're in some two-tier society where you cannot, you're a no-no, you can't get in there and get it, you need to have alternatives. You need to know about it now, not when it's cut off. That's just my 2 cents. But I just want to pass that along. I do get tons of emails, and I just want to help everyone out as much as I can. And everyone, stay well, God bless, and I will see you next time.